This is Heavy Conversation with Bruce and Jody, a podcast where we talk about being a big guy in today's world. I'm Bruce. And I'm Jody. Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Hey, Bruce.
Hi, Jody.
How are you today?
Man, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to get into this conversation we're going to have today. It is heavy conversation that we're going to have today. So I'm very excited.
So heavy. Is everybody ready for this today?
I think so. I hope so. I will also say that to prepare for today's beverage, I did have to eat before just to be sure.
We have something a little different and special this episode. So
yeah. So
I'm nervous and excited. I don't know excited, but
right.
I am excited to try it because we've had it for a couple of weeks now, I think. I got the package a few weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, it's been
time feels irrelevant anymore. I don't know what it
does, but we both got boxes of this, and it's been sitting there taunting me for a few weeks now. So
yeah.
So how's life? How's everything going?
Things are good. It's fall. I'm loving it. The temperatures are cooler. The leaves are beautiful right now here in the Pacific Northwest. Super busy with work, super busy at Bearskin. We've finally got product in, so we launched our Harvest Backwoods. So been insane busy with that. People were very excited and have been buying like crazy. So thank you for that. If you haven't, go check out bearskin.com, new Harvest Backwoods. Some fall colors, some orange and purples. So they've been really popular. Everyone loves that combo apparently. So
I really like those colors. I like the combination.
Thanks.
It is perfect for this time of year. So
yeah, I know. We were getting nervous. So we're like, what are we gonna do if it doesn't come? If it comes like later, like wait till all next year again.
Oh yeah.
But so things are busy and good, and class, I've been taking that class and I've been learning lots of stuff, so just busy.
Nice. Well,
how about you? What's going on with you?
It is the busy season for everybody who does anything with retail at all, and with Chubster, it's a whole lot of writing and a whole lot of partnership stuff, and getting ready to run the gauntlet for some photo shoot stuff. I've got partnerships that we're doing where the product, because of shipping delays, is not here yet and is going to all arrive on the same day. So trying to figure out how all of this is going to work and pull that together. It's I had these really lofty goals of having everything together and ready to go by October 15th, and that did not happen because you can write all the stuff, you can do whatever, the planning, but
I know.
When it comes to shipping, we can't shoot the stuff without the product. So so it's been good. It has been a busy, it feels like the holiday season started early.
I've seen Christmas ornaments and decorations already.
We have people through Chubster who are buying ugly Christmas sweaters. They started doing that back in September. So they're getting all their stuff. They're starting to buy products, gifts for a holiday and all that. And so it's it's it feels like it's a lot of just playing catch up right now, but it's good. It's good. I can't complain. We're just writing stuff, kind of getting everything together and trying to bust it out.
Good. Yeah. I know. I've been telling people, I'm like, if you're trying to do holiday shopping or anything, do it early. Get out there, get whatever you think you're going to want for someone or whatever, because it might not be there later. Because like you were saying, shipping issues on both ends, like people trying to get product like us, Bearskin, trying to get products to sell, and then shipping it to you is also going to be delayed. So shop early. Whatever.
Right.
I don't know that I'm looking forward to the holiday season this year.
Yeah.
I just don't know I know it's going to be busy, but I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I would say, I think if you're cautious, or if you've been waiting, or you're not sure what to buy for people, it's definitely time to start doing your research and getting out there. We are launching all of our gift guides and content around that I guess by the time this comes out, but if you're hearing this,
Mhm.
if you check chubster.com, you'll start to see a lot of guides and a lot of interesting stuff that will help you figure out what to get for the
Yeah.
holidays.
Awesome.
Yes.
Fun stuff. What do you
Yeah.
want to do? Do you want to drink yet, or do you want to wait?
I think we probably need to break this out and do it now. And what to kick this off, let's say that I got an email from a company called Neft, and they make ultra premium vodka. And they said, we'd like to send you some, and maybe you can give it a try and tell us what you think. And I said, well, that's perfect because we can give it a try on Heavy Conversation. So that is what we are doing. And now I'm sure you know what vodka looks like, smells like, all of that. They went above and beyond with this, and their vodka is actually in. How would you describe this?
The barrel?
Yeah, I mean it's like a metal barrel. It's like a metal drum.
It's like it looks like a 55-gallon drum, but it's 750 milliliters. It looks like,
right,
what oil would come in.
Yeah. And so they sent you the white barrel.
Well,
and
I have this one. I have the little bitty, like the shot.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's like another one. And then did you not get a white one?
I got the white and the black.
Okay, yeah, I got both of these.
Oh, well, there we go.
Guy.
They must have felt like you needed more,
They knew.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Neft, because this one has been in my freezer for a while, just waiting.
Nice. Yeah.
Keep your vodka in the freezer. At least that's what I like to do.
Yes. So now you can keep your vodka in the freezer, and that is one of the things that they generally tell you to do. We will say, though, the folks at Neft, they
say do not freeze.
Yeah, they say do not freeze your vodka. The reason is they say it dulls the taste, and you won't experience the full combination of flavors. So,
all right. Well, this little one I didn't. So this is what I'm drinking today.
I was going to say I've got the little one as well. It's a tiny barrel, and
100 milliliters, which is
and it has been
decent shot.
Yeah, and it's been at room temperature for quite a long time. So you can chill it in the freezer if you'd like. Taste your vodka neat. Ice cubes will dilute the flavor. They really want you to get the perfect experience with all of this. Preferably use a glass small enough that the vodka doesn't have to travel far to the mouth, but large enough that you don't have to have your nose too close to the vodka. Well, I don't have a glass here, folks. You do. So you did
put it in a coffee mug.
Oh, good. Yeah. So apparently, see, they have a whole like tasting.
It's like a whole, like, how you're supposed to taste the three senses of vodka: the sight, the smell, and the taste, which is kind of cool.
It is.
Most people probably aren't going to be doing that. I've never seen anyone do vodka flights.
Sure.
I'm sure it's a thing.
I'm sure it is too. Everything's a thing. So I'm sure vodka flights.
Who's done a vodka flight? Anyone?
Right. Tell us about your
Who's raising their hand?
Experience. Someone is.
They're always raising their hands.
Yes. So it says it's an unbreakable barrel. And that was one of the things that really stuck out to me was that how I feel about having glass anything, basically. Yep. It's going to drop, it's going to break. It's always this thing in my head. So the fact that they put this in a metal barrel is just, that also appeals to me, above and beyond the fact that it's vodka, So it'll stay cold longer indoors in any season, can be taken virtually anywhere. It's super smooth and glorious. So we've talked about it enough. I mean, they've won a ton of awards from many different places. Gold, double gold, gold, lots of gold. Yes. And I think we need to give it a try. This vodka it's distilled and packaged in Austria.
Yes.
So
it's made of the highest quality grain spirit and crystal clear mountain water. Do not expose to heat. Served chilled. Product of Austria. Distilled from rye.
Another thing that's really cool about them, as I'm looking through this book, is that they have made charitable giving a big part of their company, and so it says they have donated generously to causes like Walk with Sally, Dream Street Foundation, Project Angel, Food Hollywood, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
St.
So
Jude, everyone knows that.
yeah, and
Comes in a
they've done a lot of
beautiful
things.
box.
Yeah, and they did some things specifically for during the shutdown from COVID, matching donations for bartenders and local community, that
good.
kind of stuff. It's all good. It's all good. So if you want your vodka to have a purpose, Neft is here to give that. So did you notice in this book there's a bunch of recipes, which I'm totally holding on to because my track record.
Oh yeah,
no. So
Bruce isn't great at mixing drinks. He just pours stuff into a glass and hopes for the best.
And sometimes that works out, but usually it doesn't. So
usually it doesn't.
Right. So let's see here. Let's get to this, to
It's
the main
good.
event.
I just took a little sip. It's very smooth.
Did you?
Mhm.
Okay. So
I pre-opened mine because I was worried I was going to spill it. It's got kind of a different sort of cap to it. I opened mine before we started recording.
All right. So do we need to hold these up for our photos?
Cheers. Oh,
yeah. So we can get
photo. Oh, I'm gonna hold the big one.
yeah. There we go.
The bigger one. It's gonna be a long day.
Yes.
Oh, but it's really smooth. I like it.
Is it? Okay, let's see here. Let's see. So taste, so sight, smell, and taste. I'm sure it looks good, but I can't see it in this. So
Taste a sip of vodka, letting the liquid completely coat your tongue and palate. As it rolls to the back of your tongue, take note of the initial textures and flavors. Then swallow, paying attention not only to the aftertaste, but the longevity of the aftertaste.
Yeah, it's earthy. It's a little something. There's flavor there. It burns going down,
Yeah, it's got a little burn, yeah.
Yeah. Premium vodka.
It's very clean though.
Yeah, it is clean. It does say it should a premium vodka will generally have a slightly sweet, earthy, and clean bouquet. So yeah.
This is a nice vodka. Like, I don't know if you've taken shots of just plain vodka and you're just like
I certainly have, and I know that I've had some swill in my time, and this
is good.
This is not swill. So there we go. There's the quote, not swill.
Yeah. So, have a look for Neft. I'm not sure where it's available quite yet.
So you can find Neft vodka near you at neftvodka.com, and that's NEFT, F as in Frank, vodka.com. So it's you'll have to look around and see where you can find it. Very smooth. And thank you to the folks at Neft Vodka for sending over this ultra premium goodness that will definitely not go to waste.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
My best friend's coming, so it will definitely not go to waste.
Perfect. So this week we're talking about the thing that if you follow if you're kind of in the body positive community, or if you maybe follow celebrities, you might know about this. Jonah Hill has recently at the time we're recording this, about a week ago, had posted something on Instagram saying, "I know you mean well, but I kindly ask that you not comment on my body. Good or bad, I want to politely let you know it's not helpful and doesn't feel good. Much respect." So of course this came out, and there have been many think pieces about
lots of comments
about Mr. Hill's choice to ask people not to comment on his body. And what he's talking about here, and Jonah Hill himself is kind of at the core of what heavy conversation is, and even more than that, about what we do and what we're who we are in a lot of cases. And so it was really something that we needed to dig in to, and so we're going to talk about that.
And I think this kind of stems back to some photos of him. He's apparently become like a big surfer, and there were some photos of him in a bodysuit or getting in and out of a wetsuit, and people were Jonah Hill's ruining surfing and blah blah, like all this stuff about big people can't surf and whatever. And he's out there saying, this is something that I really enjoy doing. So I'm not going to give that up just because you don't like the way that I look, which I thought is a great message for anyone. Like if you're doing something that brings you joy, that isn't hurting anyone else, why would you stop? And
Right.
I mean, it's like, who cares if, I don't know. To me, I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, I know that he's a celebrity, and that's of interest to a lot of people, and that's great. But
Sure.
like, I don't know. It seems so weird that people
Well,
have so many opinions about like I don't know.
I think first and foremost, the big thing is, do what you love, enjoy it. The fact that he's out there, surfing, and that people are seeing him shirtless and doing all that, great. I mean, really, really, who cares? Like, the whole idea is that your body should not matter one way or another. You should be out there doing the things that you love and not having to be self-conscious because of what society or culture or individual people might think. So that's super important. And it kind of leads to a few questions and a few items that I thought we could kind of hit some of these questions and talk about these things. And the first one, it feels very basic, but we're going to hit it anyway. Why should we respect Jonah Hill's wishes to not talk about his body? So on one hand, it feels like a no-brainer to say, well, it's his body, and he's asked that people not talk about it. And I think that I can see where he's coming from with that. I think that probably it makes sense. I would say on one hand, I know for me, as someone who writes about plus size celebrities, who writes about body image and all of those kind of things, that there is real interest there because we don't have a lot of male or masculine people to look up to, whether they're role models or positive examples of bigger people out there living their best lives, doing amazing things. And we've been told all our lives that if you're bigger, you have less value. And we don't have many men out there who kind of buck that trend and have been able to make it through, and certainly none that I can think of that have really had to navigate it the way that Jonah Hill does.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure I know that there are people talking about other plus size men in their bodies, but I haven't heard or seen many people pushing back on that, like saying, hey, this is what my body is. Why are we even talking about this? It's none of your, like, this isn't okay. Like, I think he's been very courageous in doing that, like saying, hey, that's not okay to be talking about my body like that. Why does it even matter? Like, I think that's really important that he is doing that, like pushing back on that. I think it's part of our culture, unfortunately, that we've been doing it to women forever, and they've been asking for people not to comment on their bodies or ask about that kind of stuff. And we don't necessarily know what's going on with people when their weight's fluctuating up or down or whatever. You don't know what's causing that, so that could be even more hurtful when you start commenting on that. So I think he's been the only one that I can think of that's really been pushing back on it.
Sure. And this is something that women have had to deal with forever, and I think some of the think pieces that I've seen that have been written about this are talking about it in the way that they're basically saying that it doesn't apply to men, and that male body image isn't negative male body image isn't a thing. It certainly is. It is very different from women's. It's certainly not as toxic and
It's not as
most of the ways
prevalent,
that
I guess.
matter.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
as prevalent in every day, but it's still there.
It
It still
is there.
happens, you know, like
Absolutely. It's something that's always there in a lot of ways, especially if you are if you were a fat kid or a fat teen, or you're a fat guy, you're dealing with these things. You're dealing with comments, you're dealing with the things people say, you're
well, yeah,
being
you see
told
those
you fit
comments
into a
about,
box,
yeah, you're seeing those comments about Jonah Hill and you
Mhm.
look just like him.
Right.
So it makes you feel less than, or, so it definitely is there. And I think it is, it's again, it's really good that he's pushing back on that. And I think we need more of that. Like, hey, that's not okay. Like people actually standing up and saying that that is not okay to talk about or
Right.
make fun of, or,
Right.
whatever.
And I think it also should show that it is okay to be a man or a masculine person and have those kind of feelings, and
Mhm.
and to understand that guys have body issues, and those are things that they really deal with. And in so many cases, the idea has always been that in order to be a man, to be masculine, you don't talk about
Right.
your feelings, you don't let any of those things bother you, you just kind of take it and go. And I mean, that's not good for anybody. So the fact that he's stepping up and saying something about this is big, and there are absolutely ways to respect his wishes and talk about, or in my case, write about him without specifically focusing on his body. And that's kind of always been the goal with the things that I write for Chubster, is to, we're not specifically talking about somebody's body, we're talking about the things that they do, and they just happen to be bigger.
Yeah. But you're, excuse me, you're celebrating the fact that they're bigger and that they're doing things even though they are big. Like what
Right.
you're not saying, hey, this person's doing something they shouldn't be doing because they're big. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
just in a different. There's a completely different angle on it,
Right.
which is good. You're celebrating their fact that they're big.
Right. Absolutely. So the second question here is, why does Jonah Hill as a plus size person matter? And we've kind of touched on that, but the fact is, we just don't have enough, uh, you know, good examples of bigger people that are in the mainstream that are doing great things. And should the main focus be on his body, whatever size he's at? No, of course not. But uh, we just don't have that kind of representation out there. So when you see someone like that, uh, that is important. And it's the same thing with like what we've talked about for 160 episodes of Heavy Conversation, is that showing bigger people as models, or using the products that companies are trying to sell to consumers. You want to see people who look like you represented in the
Yeah.
things you watch, the things you buy, magazines, books, all of these things. You want to see that, and you want to see it in a positive light. And Jonah Hill does that in so many ways. He represents that in so many different ways that are really important.
Yeah. But it is really important to have bigger people out there doing what they love to do, whatever it is. Like, I mean, he is a celebrity. He's been in tons of shows. He's got tons of projects he's working on. So he's, and I guess maybe there is a good part of this scrutiny that he's going through, is that it's shining a light on male, you know, insecurities about their bodies, all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's some good part of it, but still, I think um, it's not a good thing that that society is scrutinizing him because of his body still.
Sure, sure. There are definitely a lot of things to talk about that around him that are more important. So
Mhm.
yeah. The last question is, at least that I have here, there is a lot more conversation that can be had around this, and I'm sure that there will be, and this will continue. This isn't going to suddenly go away. I do hope that people follow his wishes and respect that, and I would think that in general they would. But when it comes to the internet, you're open to so many people. It's you get the good and the bad. the question is, can we still look at Jonah Hill as a role model or a positive example? And I would say yes, because
Absolutely.
there are so many things here that are positive, that when you can look at him as a style icon. You can look
Well,
at
he was on GQ Style. He was on the cover of GQ Style for fall.
totally.
So
Yeah.
obviously he's, got some style. I mean, obviously there's stylists that work on that, but yeah,
Right.
he's on the cover of a style magazine for fall. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And so you can look at that. You can look at his career and kind of where he came from. There's always an opportunity for an actor to get kind of locked into certain types of roles, and he has been able to buck that trend. If you look at something like the Superbad and those kind of comedies, it would have been very easy for him to just kind of stay there, but he has broken out. And I mean, look at things like Moneyball, where he's really,
and now he's like directing and stuff.
Right.
He's got some stuff that he's directing. So
right. And so there are all these other things about him that are great. And I think all of that is positive. All of that is important. And those are things that we can look at that are more important than the size of his body. And I think he can still be a role model and a positive example of somebody that you identify with, but it doesn't have to be all about that. And I think my hope would be that he's cool with that, because it's not about his body in that direct way that I can totally understand would be frustrating and demoralizing. And it is for so many bigger people who are not famous. So being at that level and having that much scrutiny, that has to be rough,
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to see what else Jonah Hill's got coming out for us, besides talking about his weight. Yeah, I'm excited for the projects he's got coming, and I think he, was it Moneyball that he was that? I feel like there was some other movie that he was in that.
Wolf of Wall Street.
That's the one. I was like that. I really liked him in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of. He's a good actor.
Yeah, right. So yeah, and I mean, he's got a lot of other things coming up, so it's going to be very exciting to see what his other projects are like. It always is. I will say one thing: his beard game is on point. I mean, as a bearded gent myself, and definitely as someone with very thin, fine, wiry hair on my head, I'm jealous of the hair.
It's like some kind of almost a blonde beard going
I know. I'm like, man, that's glorious, is what that is. So we can all aspire to that kind of bearded greatness. So yeah. So that's all that I really have to say about it. I think we will still cover Jonah Hill, just and Chubster has never covered him in a way that's specifically about his body, unless there was something that was super relevant, but never obviously in a negative way or anything like that. The focus is always on the fact that he is all of these other things, and that's what's important. So you go from there,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna cheers to Jonah Hill. Keep rocking that bod however you want to.
That's right.
Keep doing what you're doing.
That's right. I'll
a Neft vodka cheers
to Jonah Hill.
All right.
Vodka.
Thanks everybody. Till next time.
Bye.
Go check us out on Instagram.
Yes.
And go share this episode with a friend. All right. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Heavy Conversation. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your